Step inside the fitting room, your destination for the most fitting style and design guidance. Each and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, only on the Fashion Network.
Hey everyone!
Hi! What is going on, guys?
This is so amazing. We are so excited. Welcome to the fitting room with your host, TERRILL, and myself, AK Brown.
Yes. So this is the destination for the most fitting style and design guidance.
Say that 3 times, okay?
Yeah, right. So, let's just jump right in. Okay, AK.
Yeah.
So, let's get the ball rolling with you. Let's let all of the folks know who you are and kind of give some insight and some background on what's going on with you.
Of course. So first, before I even do that, I want to thank all you guys so much for tuning in, welcoming us into the Fashion Network family. We are so excited to be on the platform. So first off, for me, my name is AK Brown, the Fashion Connector. I have actually been in fashion for well over 10 years. My journey, I wouldn't say it's unconventional. I mean, maybe it's more of like an inspirational journey. Let's go with that. So went to school originally for fashion design and entrepreneurship. Realized that design is not my thing. Came back home after I had my daughter and got into blogging. And I started blogging kind of like when blogging was really at like the height and popularity, all that good stuff. And then that led into blogging. Then I got my first big girl job as a product developer. Then it quickly went into styling, fashion consulting, owning my own magazine, owning my own nonprofit, and then really transforming into this brand that I call the Fashion Connector, connecting my multifaceted fashionpreneurs through connections, services, and insights. So I know we're going to dive a little bit deeper into my journey, but I also want to allow you as my amazing co-host to tell your story too, because I really feel like your journey and the gems that you have, our audience very much really wants to hear. And I think they will find it as another source of inspiration too.
Well, first off, let's just not roll over those accolades. I mean, you said some things
I did.
Let's not just roll over those.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I want you to go off into those just a little bit. We got time. Okay. They here for us.
We do, y'all.
We got time. Go into it a little bit.
Wednesday for an hour. So let's start there. We are here each and every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I think 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're here for an hour. So you got us for
we got time.
We got time.
We got time.
So let's see. I always wanted to be a designer. My mom would like get me the Vogue subscriptions when I was like 12, and I would like try to sketch like the ads and stuff. So I always have been creative. Thought I wanted to start my own clothing line when I was 16. Got to Missouri State, and I'm like, oh no, wait a minute. Design, I don't think was for me, but it's because I was not given the exposure into other things that you could do. Yay! Hey, Jamie! Yes. I wasn't given the exposure into everything that you could do, even outside of just like design that we know of. So I also want you guys to understand that with this TV show and with our content, we're very much going to try to give you as much exposure into different things in fashion with our combined experiences and journey. So that's one thing.
Okay.
So again, came home after having my daughter, and I went back to school at a amazing institution that we both actually went to.
Yes.
The Institute of Business and Arts, and I actually now teach there as a fashion professor. But that, I think, really kind of gave me the power that I needed and the momentum of like exploring other things that I wanted to do in fashion. Okay. And then I knew, because I switched my major from design to, what was that at that time? Merchandising, retail management. So I was trying to also find different ways to get into fashion. Like I knew I probably needed to do something else besides just have this education.
Right.
And I Googled like, what do you do to get into the fashion industry? And it said start a blog. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, so you just like talk about what you like in fashion? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? And it gave me a link to blogger.com. And then sure enough, I started the first stint of everything, Mind of a Fashionista. OMG. It makes me cringe because I really didn't like that name, but at the same time, I have to give homage to the beginnings of everything. And my first post was how to wear printed Oxford shoes because I had these cheetah print Oxfords.
Okay.
They were cute from DSW. They were cheetah print with a pink sole at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then took off from there. Got experience in St. Louis's blogger industry and scene, which a lot of people don't realize at a time it was popping. Like it was popping. Okay. Then graduated from school, and my first big girl job was as a sample coordinator. And then I moved my way up into really understanding and learning what product development was. And that's where I kind of realized just because I don't have the experience as a designer, I can still become into, this field in this sector of understanding how to create a product line from conception to the shipment of the goods.
Yeah.
And that's I felt like, okay, this is my place. This is great. And I had experience developing product lines for everyone from Fila, Urban Outfitters, Aldo, Anthropology, Michael Strahan, London Fog, Spencer's, Hot Topic. Like I had over 30 accounts. So I really felt like this is how you can get into the industry. You don't just have to be a designer. You don't necessarily just have to be a boutique owner. There are other ways to get into the industry. And then just from there, exploring, because I'm always someone that loves to continue to learn. I got my master's in PR. I thought I wanted to be a Kelly Catrone. I still kind of do. I love what she does. And if y'all don't know who Kelly Catrone is, if you watch The Hills, that was and is still my show to this day. Lauren and I think a couple others intern for her. So she is the person that controls New York Fashion Week. She has offices in LA, New York, Paris. She has a showroom and she connects designers with runway shows and publicity. I love that. And so I had my own boutique PR firm for like 2 months. And I told my clients, respectfully, I'm dumping you because I want to use myself as a case study to see if I can actually like do what I've been taught to do in school. And then ever since then, I've gotten myself quoted or featured as an expert in outlets like Teen Vogue, In Style, Elite Daily, Bustle, Essence, SL Nicole, like the list goes on and on. Then that led into, well, I want my own magazine. And you can speak to this, Terrell. Being in St. Louis and I love the publications in St. Louis and I have personal connections with all of them, but there is not a true publication in St. Louis that is focused on fashion editorial content. And so I created it. And so now I'm indirectly a creative director and still styling and all this, and then using my PR experience to be the editor at large. So it just all spiraled because I wanted to really figure out what I wanted to do in fashion, and then realizing there wasn't a group in St. Louis geared towards Black and now BIPOC fashion creatives in St. Louis. So it's like, okay, let me start it. So yeah.
Okay. I don't even know where to begin. Let me kind of narrow it down some. I started, first and foremost, let me just say my name is Terrell Keith. And I am from Cahokia, Illinois.
Yeah.
And I know that that's real small. Originally East St. Louis, but Cahokia, Illinois, my fashion journey was completely different. Very similar to the late Andre Leon Talley.
Thank
The
you, right?
fashion that I grew up seeing what came from church. All of that fashion came from church. We got dressed up to go to church. We got dressed up on holidays. We got dressed up on birthdays. So those were the occasions where it was us. It was time for us to shine and kind of do our thing. So that was kind of my push. I never wanted to be a designer. I wanted to be an artist.
Yeah.
And I thought I wanted to draw. I thought I wanted to do all of the things artists did. And so little did I know that was my kind of segue into fashion. So what I did was I actually started off in cosmetology school. A lot of people don't know that I went to cosmetology school. Yeah, I still do
Wait,
hair
for
from
real?
time. Yeah, seriously. Surprise. So I started off in cosmetology school and realized that that wasn't my thing. My mom, God bless her, I love her to pieces. My mother was just like, well, baby, whatever it is you do, just make sure you just, you do it. Make sure you follow it through and have a plan. And so I realized that cosmetology school wasn't my thing. And when I realized it wasn't my thing, I stopped and actually started my first retail job at Banana Republic. And that started my fashion career. Um, Brittany, I don't remember her last name, but Brittany, girl, you're the
Wherever you
one.
are, Brittany,
You
shout
are
out.
the one. Thank you, Brittany. I was actually a visual specialist for Banana Republic. Loved the job. Love the job. And I kind of just went on with the fashion industry on a retail level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I said, I kind of want to do this. Like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
So after me doing that, working in retail, I think roughly about 2.5 to 3 years, I started working at a place called Art B. And if you know, you know. And so I was working at a place called Art B, and I met up with a young lady who kind of introduced me to another young lady. And I went to, it was a fashion show called the Icons Fashion Show.
Mhm.
So Icons here in St. Louis was a big, 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 big deal. And I credit them for so much because they started and they paved the way for so many of us here in St. Louis. They paved the way. So I met a young lady named Jackie, and she was running around with this big curly hair, and she was pregnant, and she was moving real fast. And I was like, "Hi." She was like, "Hey, what's going on? My name's Jackie. What's going on? I love your style. You look nice. Hey, okay, I gotta go." So she zipped away, and then ever since then, I was like, I kind of want to do this.
Right.
So I snuck into Fashion Week and I was working. I didn't sneak. I went to a show at Fashion Week.
Uh-huh.
It was at the Lumiere Hotel here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then I met up with someone who was like my MySpace friend. That was real far back. My MySpace friend, and he was showing. And then I kind of worked my way backstage, and then I kind of started helping and doing some things. That started this whole thing. The drive, the push, the excitement, the everybody must wear black, the this, the that. So it went from there to I kind of want to do this like I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I then looked up fashion schools. I looked up SCAD in Chicago. I looked up another school in Chicago. I took a tour. Financially, it just wasn't the thing for me.
Yeah.
So I ended up finding a school here. It was Patricia Stevens at the time. At the time, it was Patricia Stevens, and then I was going there. It was a 1-level floor. It was a 1-level floor.
We've elevated from there.
Yes. And then when I graduated from Patricia Stevens with my associates, then we moved over to Stevens Institute of Business and Arts. And that's where I graduated with my degree. in business and arts. But since then, I have worked with so many people, styled so many people. I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate that I've worked in style. I'm here in St. Louis as a model liaison. I've taught some of the most prominent people in the industry right now, and I'm fortunate, not bragging, just
Yeah.
being, very fortunate and humble to say that I've been able to work with some amazing people. So doing that, and I'm a designer, and now I do closets. I come in, deconstruct your closet, strip it out, have a consultation, and then go right back into it and kind of get everything together. Get rid of this, don't do this,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
I love it. And then honestly, to kind of sum up things,
Yeah.
I really truly thought that what I was doing was the end. Last year, I thought that was the end for me. And then little do I know, some brown skinned gorgeous girl with short blonde hair wanted to feature me in her magazine.
Me.
And then I was
Before
featured
we even get
in.
into that story, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break so we can hear from our sponsors just really, really quick.
So then I said to him, you ought to customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual, so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, Dad, can we talk about something other than work? It's the weekend.
Yeah. Weekend. Weekends are a lot like insurance.
Yeah.
Yep. Hot dog or chicken? Hot dog.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Now, before we went into commercial, we was talking about a beautiful brown skinned girl that featured you in her magazine. No.
So there was this girl who I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I can help you get back on. So it was this beautiful brown skinned girl, no hair, called her a bald headed baddie.
I didn't say that.
Oh, hey, give me my accolades. But I'm gonna let you tell the story. I'm gonna let you tell the story. Okay, go ahead.
So to kind of speed things up, my apologies. I met a young lady. She wanted to kind of bring me on and be a feature in her magazine. I was featured in several other things, and things kind of shifted that way. So that was that, I guess. I mean, it was more things. My apologies. I completely lost my train of thought. We kind of moved
But
so
I think
fast.
that's good because I think and I hope you guys, as our viewers, see like the passion that you have for fashion, your journey. And we're not going to speed past you being in the magazine. I purposely wanted to put you in the magazine because for you guys watching us, and if you don't know the history of St. Louis fashion and all that stuff, we're very much in this whole era of trying to revitalize our garment district. But again, the reason why I decided to start the nonprofit is because there has never really been a focus on Black or ethnic groups in fashion. And with our nonprofit, I always try to do some type of editorial content with a focus on us because that's essentially how we got our start. And I had known, even if it wasn't on the intimate level that we now know each other now, I have always known of TERRILL doing amazing things in fashion. And I knew for a fact he had to be on my list in this editorial. Even if nothing else came from it, it was to pay respect, give flowers, and to acknowledge those that are doing the amazing things in fashion. And that's what I did for you because you are a force to be reckoned with in our industry, in our city.
Thank you.
Together, yay us!
Thank you. First off, I want to acknowledge your platform. Thank you so much for being able to come here and do what it is that you're doing. There's so many people like me. I'm honestly, I'm one of the most humble people that
Yeah.
you will definitely come in contact with. And I just like, I don't like to talk about myself. I really truly don't. I don't, I do what I do because I'm passionate.
Yes.
You know, I don't like to, you know, everybody say pop your collar. I don't need to do all of that. I've been very successful in my career, and I'm very fortunate, and I'm extremely thankful. So kind of jumping in to, you know, what we're gonna be doing on this show.
Yeah.
So diving right into this, your personal style
Mhm.
should be your personal journey.
Yes.
I think that, for one, that speaks volumes and that says a lot for itself. That
Yes.
says a lot for itself and on its own. Um, let's let you, AK, speak on that, and then I'll kind of piggyback on that.
Of course. So to start, you guys, we both are stylists within our own respective niches. For me, I used to do personal styling and had to make an executive decision to more so become a style educator. And oh, I just created a term for myself. Let me make sure I remember that, because I really want to empower, whether it's clients, whether if we want to call them students. I want to encourage you guys and empower you guys to really take your personal style basically by the reins and feel confident to really master it and hone in on it. I've done editorial styling, I've done wardrobe styling, but specifically when it comes to personal styling, I've had a lot of clients, especially plus size men and plus size women, come to me because their style journey has been, you know, it's been a journey, and they see me, and I don't know if you can tell because I'm here up, but I am also a plus size woman too. I have not always been plus size, probably since I've had my daughter. So over the course of 11 years is when I've really started to kind of enter into that plus size niche and realm. And so my relationship with clothes and my relationship with my personal style journey, it's been up and down, left and right. And just realizing, first off, we have to separate fashion and style. Let's separate those two words, because being fashionable and being stylish are not the same. And then on top of that, your version of style is very much acceptable, even if it differs from someone else's version of style. And this is why I say your personal style should be your own personal journey. I love what I love. I love everything from minimalist fashion to urban streetwear. I do like to pick out different trends here and there and kind of mesh it all together into what I call AK core, because I don't know if I can identify with one type of style niche or group. But just because I like something and you don't, that doesn't mean that I'm not stylish. We just have different needs. We have different wants. We have different goals for our personal style. So when it comes to your own personal journey, especially because a lot of our relationship with clothes and fashion, it can have a correlation with your body journey, body positivity, or maybe the lack thereof. When I really started to gain weight, it was hard. It was a lot, because I was holding on to clothes that I thought I would be able to fit if I thought I lost the baby weight that I had, but I wasn't even on an active weight loss regimen. So that wasn't even making sense. And then I had to really do a lot of like self discovery, self love. And I say this all the time. I feel like personal stylists are or can be seen as part psychologists in a way if they do their job correctly. Because a lot of times we are having to dig deep into the innards before we can even give you the tools, the trips, resources in order to make yourself look pretty on the outside. For example, if you have issues shopping in person, well, why do you have issues shopping in person? Okay, well, we're basically having a therapy session before we can even get to picking out clothes, because now I have to figure out why you have anxiety going shopping in person or trying things on in, you know, the fitting room. Shameless plug, and all that stuff. So I really want you guys as our audience to understand that, for one, being fashionable and stylish, those are not, in my opinion, synonymous. And your style journey, it really should just be about what makes you happy. It should not be restricted in a box because of your body type, because of, colors or prints or anything like that. It should truly just be about what makes you happy, and then using tools to basically elevate your style through what makes you happy. I really truly feel like that.
Agreed. Not to dig too deep, because I do know that we are going to have to cut to commercials here shortly. I say my personal journey is completely different.
Yeah.
My personal journey, it does have a lot to do with being able to dress a certain way. Growing up in church, you have to look a certain way, and then going to school. The school that we went to, in the beginning, we didn't have the opportunity to, wear casual clothes and dress, slouch and do all of the things. We couldn't do that. We had to dress up. So my personal journey comes from something completely different.
Yeah.
It comes from, you have to look a certain way. You got to represent. You have to do this, and you have to look like a man. You got to look masculine. You have to look, all of the things. So my journey does look a lot different. And then working in retail, it has opened my eyes and exposed me to so much, in other people's journeys, and why it's important to have a fit session. For those of you who don't know what a fit session is being able to come into the store, have several different sizes, and be able to try on everything from a small, medium, large to an extra large. It's not to shame you.
There, just really quick, to piggyback off of you, I think you are absolutely right, because what people do not realize, and I think you can probably attest to this more than I can because of your background, just because, for example, you're a size 18 in one store does not mean you are a size 18 in all stores. And so if you think and keep your mind in that box, I think it's going to limit you to think that you can or cannot shop in certain stores because you've been conditioned to only wear a number, when we already know, and again, you probably know more than I do, fit is so much different between brands, between fabrics, between silhouettes, X, Y, and Z.
Agreed. So I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought again. My apologies. Fit is so important. It's extremely important because you need to be able to know what it is and be comfortable with what it is and find your brand.
Yes.
That's important as well. Finding your brand and not just having to stick to it, but finding your brand and being comfortable. I know for me personally that Levi's jeans, I know my size. I know what it is. I can go to it. I can order it. I can buy it, and I don't have to try it on.
Yes.
That's what we have to become comfortable with. Just finding what our brand is. You know what I mean? Finding our brand, finding our style, and then every couple of years, go back and readjust. You may be bigger, you might be smaller, or you might be the same. It's not that big a deal. And, being able to have somebody that's going to be able to walk you through that journey, it's extremely important. Doing that by yourself in a fitting room, it could be so scary. It's so scary going into a fitting room with 3 to 4 different sizes, and it's discouraging. It's not just scary, it's discouraging because somebody who used to be in men's, who used to be a 36, 38, last thing I tried on was a 42. Well, you know what? That's discouraging. Whether it's men, women, anybody, that's discouraging. So you have to be able to have somebody to go along with you on that journey during that duration that's going to reassure you that where you are personally does not define who you are specifically, and it doesn't define your journey. It's just a specific space, location, and time where you are in that journey, and that's so important. With that being said, we are getting ready to cut to a quick commercial because, baby, these are folks that's paying the bills. Let's go ahead and acknowledge them. Be right back, guys.
There's a couple things. There's a couple things I'd like to say to you. After all the crazy things that we've been through. I needed you in the dead of night, the wake of the day, first broken light. And blind I'd follow you. I never realized how much I needed you.
Comfort. What we deliver by delivering.
All right, guys, welcome back. Okay, so jumping right back into it. So where we left off was why your personal style should be your personal journey.
Yes.
So where I left off speaking was your personal style is your journey. Speaking of my own, my journey, oh my gosh, it has been a whirlwind. Not only has it been a whirlwind, it has been multiple sizes.
Yes.
Multiple sizes. Me personally, just if I can just share a story.
Yeah.
I love what it is that I do, being a personal stylist and a wardrobe consultant, because it is extremely therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's extremely therapeutic. So I used to be a manager for a small boutique chain store called BB. And when I worked there, there was a young lady who came in, and gorgeous, gorgeous girl. She came in, she said, I really don't have a lot of money, but I have an interview. I don't know what to wear, where to go, where to start, but I probably can't fit anything in here. Now me looking at her, I'm like, girl, let's get you in this fitting room. So what did I do? I asked her several open-ended questions that made her comfortable, that allowed me to figure out kind of what her personal style was. And it led to us getting several different things in her price range and her budget. So we got into the fitting room. I got her in this look, and it was very appropriate. And she had 4 pieces. Those 4 pieces were very versatile. It could transform to night, to day, to office, to, whatever. So she came out, and when she saw herself, she started crying.
Oh.
I said, what's wrong? Are you okay? Is everything okay? She said, I've never seen myself look like this.
Oh.
I said, what do you mean? She said, I just recently lost 60 pounds. I said, congratulations. Me, like, yes, congratulations. She's like, no, I've never seen myself look like this. And I said, you look beautiful. And so she said, well, I never thought I would be able to shop in a store like this. I never thought I would be able to afford a store like this. And I never thought that I would be able to see myself looking like this.
Yeah.
She said, thank you. And then, now, mind you, this was many years ago. So this was, pre-pandemic. So she's like, can I give you a hug? And she hugged me, and I embraced her, and she just broke. She said, thank you. I have never felt this way ever. She said, I still look at myself as that very large girl that once was.
Yeah.
And that right there, one, is why it's so important to have somebody along the way with you during your personal style journey, for one. And then 2, she came back into the store, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I just saw a girl running past the window. She was just running past the window. I'm like, what's going on? And she ran in. She was like, I got the job. And I mean, congratulations. Congratulations. So she ran in and she said, I got the job all because I felt so good in what I was wearing. And I just felt this. I said, no, you got the job because you were qualified. You got the job because you were the best candidate for what it was that you went for. I said, no, what you were wearing, that just gave you an additional
Correct.
boost. You know what I mean? But have you ever experienced anything like that in your personal journey with your walk, or what is one of your most memorable moments in your personal journey?
Oh, Jesus. Oh. I think for me, because and kind of the reverse side of that young lady story, and I'll even give some tangible tips and kind of things that you guys can do as our amazing viewers. Again, my journey with fashion, my relationship with clothing, and my relationship with self-love, because for me they're all intertwined. I'm someone that I was probably 150. I was a cheerleader and then got pregnant when I was 19. And so from there, my relationship with my body has been up and down. The pressures of losing weight, pressures of even being told by other people, family members, you need to lose weight, even if they were trying to mask it for like health reasons. Sometimes it came out, you look better when you were smaller, but I didn't want to be pressured into doing something just to fit society norms. And so for me, my kind of like aha moment is just showing up in pieces that maybe you don't think a plus size woman would or should wear. But I get a lot of I feel good when I do it. And for me, that's kind of how I would get a lot of my personal styling clients, because especially on social media, they would see me in like these dresses. I just wore a dress from Edgy Chic Boutique. Shout out to them. And I'm just, showing and flapping my little turkey arms.
What's that dress? What's gorgeous?
Yes. And I have it in the white and the pink. So for me.
Oh, I didn't know you had both colors.
I did. And
that's
so
cute.
For me, I never wanted to show my arms because I knew they were big.
That's a big deal with women.
It is. I did not want to show my arms. I didn't want to have the jiggle and all that stuff. But then at the same time, it's like, it's summer. It's hot, especially in St. Louis. It can get almost over 100. I'm showing off my arms. And if you don't like it, I don't care. But I feel good. I know I look cute because I keep getting all these compliments. Like it just got to the point where up until now, I wear what I want to wear. And if it makes me feel good, and if I feel good when I look into the mirror, I'm walking out the door and I'm doing that. And I've gotten actually more compliments than anything, because people then look at me and they're like, okay, you're doing it and you're rocking it. Show me how to do it. But again, that's why I say, we have to dig in here, because it took me almost 5, 6, 7 years to feel comfortable enough to do that.
And you know what, AK, and it's not just you. It's not just you. There are even smaller women.
Yes.
There's so many small women that deal with the same, to an extent, the same body image deformities. You know what I mean?
Everyone has something about them that they are dealing with. And so that's why you have to really work on the inner first before we get to the outer. That is probably step one, tip one. You have to work on the inner. And I'm not saying you're here to solve anything, but you have to be able to get a handle on how you feel here. Because, and I tell my clients this all the time, if you're not willing to let me work with you on here, then you're not going to be able to exude the confidence that I need you to exude when I tell you to put this dress on. Like, I have the confidence, but it took me so many years to get to that confidence. So that's tip and step number one. You have to work on the inner. You have to get to the root of why you have anxiety going and shopping in person, why you have anxiety going into the fitting room. We have to get there. 2, you have to experiment. And I understand, especially if you are someone that is working through body complexities, that it may be a frustrating journey, but you're not going to know what you like, what makes sense for you, and what's going to work for you unless you start. Okay, so y'all, we were trying to find clothes for our photo shoots for the trailer for this. And I love Akira, I do, but I just have an issue with going and shopping in that store in person. However, TERRILL took me in there. We were like, look, let's just see.
I was very hopeful.
You were. and if we can find something, and even though we still weren't able to find anything that worked, I still found some dresses that I was like, okay, maybe if I can find this somewhere else in my size, because I love the style, I love the silhouette, but I would not have even known about those dresses if we didn't go in and basically was open and flexible to
I was just, you
explore.
took the words right out of my thought process, out of my mind when you
Yeah.
said be open.
You gotta be open.
So I feel like that's the third tip. You have to be
You
open.
gotta be open. Yes,
You
you
have
do.
to be open because certain things look good on certain people. You don't know. You don't know what it looks like until
you
you
try it
try
on.
some things on.
Agreed.
I guess for me, my fourth tip personally would be to get basics as a foundation.
Essentials, wardrobe basics, and essentials. Y'all have to have a foundation.
So important.
Yes.
And what basics and foundations and those things, what it looks like to me is a good brim. Now, honey, let me tell y'all gonna get sick of me with a good brim because I got a whole bunch of them, honey. So I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna let y'all see this bald head every now and then, But until then, y'all gonna get a good brim.
Yes.
But that's my comfort zone.
Yes.
That's what works for me.
Yes.
I have a hat head.
Yes.
I have a face
yes.
where I love glasses, and it works for me.
Yeah.
Find your basics. Find your foundation.
Yeah.
Somebody like me also, I love a good jean.
Yeah.
And I love a good wide leg.
Yeah.
But you have to find those 3 to 4 things that you can mix and match throughout the year.
Correct.
Throughout the seasons, that's going to work for you.
Correct.
The brim works all year round. You can have anything from a straw brim to a felt fedora to a beanie to anything. Find your thing that you love.
Yes.
Find your thing that you love and just take it to the next level.
Agreed.
Take it to the next level. Also,
Agreed.
when me and you, AK, I was so excited that you were like, well, I'm not going to find anything in her, but let's go try it. I'm glad that you were.
I was open. Now, I knew we weren't going to find nothing, but I'm someone that I'm okay with being proven wrong. Let's start there. So if I was going to find something and it was going to work, I would have been elated, over the moon, probably doing the cartwheel, because I'm okay with being proven wrong.
Yes.
But again, just like we keep saying, you have to be open. Also, to kind of pick about what you were talking about, guys, a lot of what we're talking about, we're building upon additional segments later on in the season. We're actually going to give you tips and tricks on how to build your signature style. I actually call it building your signature capsule wardrobe. We're going to get into that in another episode. But another tip I think that I have is stay away from trends to start. This is the only reason why I say this. If you get caught up on trying to be so trend driven, I think you're going to get so burnt out, because for one, we already know there are so many trends that come out legitimately on a daily. There are companies that are paid thousands of dollars to report on fashion trends every single day. It does not have anything to do with, again, your personal style. When it comes to actually what makes you happy, what makes most sense for you, trends are just things, if anything, like to add a little bit of razzle dazzle, a little bit of oomph to something that you've already built, but you still have to build the foundation. So if you don't even know what size you should be wearing in jeans because jeans are a pain point for you, you don't need to be focusing on trends. That we don't even need to be worrying about them. We need to make sure we are mastering the best fit of jeans or pants for you, or making sure that you understand your inseam, because you keep saying that your pants are too long. So put trends to the side for now.
So, but that's important. Like what you just said, even so much as finding your style. When you said jeans, like I mentioned earlier, I know for sure it's Levi's and Silver brand jeans.
Yeah.
They work for me hands down. I know I could go in and I could get it. It don't matter the size. I mean, it don't matter the color. whatever it is, I know what it is in that Levi jeans or the silver brand jeans. For me personally, I know I can go in there and get it. But that's why and again, and you'll hear me continue to say, don't go on this journey alone. Don't go on the journey alone because you don't know.
Fashion friend. At least a fashion fan.
Fashion friends.
Fashion friends. So real quick before we talk about our fashion
friends.
Write it down. Right, write it down. We're going to cut to one of our last commercials. I think we have 2 more. So let's cut to our commercial so we can hear one word from our sponsors.
Yes.
Y'all. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the fitting room. Like, we are so just excited about this first episode. But because we're also going to talk about towards the end of the season really what to think about and look for when you are trying to hire a personal stylist. However, I understand, especially now with the times that we are in, personal styling may not be realistic for you, whether it's because of financials, your lifestyle, whatever the case may be. But I think, and TERRILL is absolutely right, I think you still should have someone there as a fashion friend to at least be a sounding board.
Yes.
So, or not even a fashion friend, maybe just get a best friend or a good friend. And even if you guys got some of the same issues together, like, okay, we both don't like going shopping in store, but if we go together, maybe that will alleviate some of the anxiety that we both have because we're doing it together. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? To kind of piggyback on that, I love the thought of fashion friends.
Yeah.
And even if sometimes it could be a little hard or a little bit of a struggle for those, if you don't want to go shopping and I don't want to go shopping, we can't motivate each other. Sometimes that's hard as well. So like one thing personally that I do so many different types of styling. Yeah. During the pandemic, I opened up virtual styling. What I did was I had you send me several pictures of yourself, tell me some things about yourself, and give me one item that you want me to work completely around. Yes. You know what I mean? So one young lady, she had a shoe. And what I did was I broke it down into several different looks based around that shoe, because that one shoe may be her comfort zone.
Correct.
That one shoe or that hat or that shirt or that dress, whatever that one thing is that we can build off of, that's what I would use for people to just kind of build off of that. Let's build off of that one thing and kind of go from there. So there's so many different ways we can do this. And I mean, I'm so excited that we now have this platform that we can take our time and break it down. You know what I mean?
Another way, subscription services. So for me, I actually worked for Trunk Club and I worked for Stitch Fix, which are, Trunk Club, may they rest, used to be the subscription service for Nordstrom. But if you're someone that maybe because we're still, first off, y'all, we are still in the pandemic. Let's not skirt past that. We're still in the pandemic. So let's acknowledge how serious that still is. And if you still are not shopping in person because of that, there are so many style subscription services that you can partake in. Basically, you'll create a profile and you'll basically, put your sizes, likes, loves. You can even put like if you're allergic to certain fabric. And then just depending on the company, they can send between 3 to 10 pieces to the comfort of your home. You can try it out for a week or 2 weeks. You buy and keep what you want, and then you return what you don't want. And so there's so many options now just for the flexibility of everyone's lifestyle. So I don't want to say it's necessarily, an excuse, but again, whether it's a fashion friend, going in person, or trying some alternative methods like virtual try-ons, working with a virtual stylist, virtual subscription boxes, there's plenty of ways to explore what your personal style is.
What I will say though is,
yes,
and this may seem a little controversial, but you know what? I don't care. Coming from someone who works in retail,
yes,
I do realize, because I worked at actually BB, the store that I worked at BB, we closed the store down because we could not keep up with e-commerce.
Yeah.
So I see the duality in the conversation, and I just couldn't let this like swoop past without me working in retail and saying that if we allow that portion of fashion to die, we no longer will get that experience. And it's going to make us, it's going to make consumers. So, you know what I mean? It's going to make consumers so much, harder. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it's going to make it harder for us to continue to provide what we need to provide. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go right into Ask the Host.
Yeah.
So AK, what is the question of the day before our time eliminates?
So first off, y'all, again, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to our first episode. We appreciate y'all already. So thank you guys. So actually, the question is for the both of us.
Okay.
From my perspective as a plus size woman, your perspective as a plus size man, what's one or a couple of tips when it comes to really building your wardrobe? From the perspective of maybe someone that just had a baby, or maybe they're purging their closet. What are some tips that they can do to really start to hone in on their personal style?
I'll jump right in. Personal tips: figure out what's comfortable. Okay. Know what's comfortable to you, and just kind of just go into it. I love a good wide leg pant. I love a good wide leg pant with a drawstring on it. It's amazing for me. It's extremely comfortable, and I love it. That's one thing that I just love, and I can wear it all year round. I can wear it at all sizes. That's one thing. That's my comfort zone. That's my go-to. Find a good go-to, and then just kind of elaborate on that good go-to.
Agreed. So I think for me, you have to let go of what doesn't work. So I think before we can even figure out you know what I'm talking about, and you do this for people. Before we can even figure out our go-to, we have to purge, because a lot of us are probably holding on to things that we hope will work in our future body, which that's fine. But if it has not worked for you for the past 3-6 months, it probably isn't there to serve you purpose, and it's cluttering up the space, and it's going to cloud your judgment on what works and what doesn't, because you're always going to revert back to your mind. Well, I have these pair of jeans that are size 10 when baby you're 16, and that's okay.
I say a season. Give them a season. I give my customers a season. When was the last time you wore it? Did you wear it last year?
Yeah.
No. Okay, you have a season.
Yeah.
You got a season.
If you've already turned your closet about 3, 4, 5 times, take it to Plato's, take it to Clothes Mentor, take it to the Goodwill, take it to the Salvation Army, donate it. Let's be sustainable. Get some money back into your pocket to reinvest that into your new wardrobe.
Your new wardrobe.
Or a new wardrobe that's going to make the most sense for you, that's going to make you look good, feel good, look amazing, feel amazing, instead of holding on to an idea that is not working for you. For me, that's the number one tip. You have to purge and start with a clean slate.
I say for me, purging, absolutely, and finding what that basic is.
Yes.
Know what your basics is that's going to make you feel comfortable, that's going to make you feel amazing, that's going to make you feel great. Yes. Purge, get rid of that stuff, And let's get ready for the new stuff.
Agreed. And then I think I've said this before, so I'll just reiterate it. You have to experiment and you have to be open. You're not going to know what makes the most sense for you, what you're going to like, what you're going to love until you get out and experiment, even if it's experimenting within the comfort of your own home. So buying some things, taking it home, trying it on in your bedroom in front of your mirror to see, okay, maybe, because even for me, I thought that I was like a skinny girl or skinny jean girl. I hate skinny jeans now, and I don't know why, but that's okay because I have been embracing the straight leg and like a slight wide leg pant. But I would
get into the wide leg.
I'm here for it. And
I love it.
Unless I started to try on the straight leg. I think I got a good pair from H&M, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I've not worn skinny jeans since. And I'm not saying I'm not going to go back to skinny jeans, but it's straight leg for me. So I say all that to say, y'all, again, you have to make sure that you experiment, that you're open to experimenting, that you're open to trying new things. We understand that there are things that are always going to work. But if you're really trying to have an expansive closet and wardrobe, and if you're really trying to hone in on your personal style, be open to trying new things. And honestly, as adults, we should just be doing that in all facets of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes.
Yes. With that being said, y'all, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the first episode. I promise y'all, we have so much other content. So I just want to quickly touch on some of the things that we do have coming up. We have Carmen Ramirez and Dara Hamilton. They are two fashion creators from St. Louis that are going to be on the next episode. So episode 2, but we have so much in store for this season. We're touching on everything from personal styling tips. So like I told you guys, we're going to be talking about the wardrobe essentials. We're going to be talking about how to essentially build your signature style when it comes to your personal style. We're actually going to be talking with like some stylist and designer tips, because we're also here for designer and stylist guidance. Like, we want to use this as a platform to teach our fellow stylists, to teach our fellow designers some really good tips and tricks and resources on really how to hone in on their brand and their craft.
And your designer, because not everybody wants a super designer brand. Not everybody wants something, that's just Target. We are going to get ready to break down these walls and let you guys know, let's find your specific brand. Is it Prada, Gucci, or Fendi? Or is it Honey Inc. or from Macy's? Or is it, any Target brands? Whatever it is, we are getting ready to break it down, and we're going to make sure that all of you guys have exactly what you need when you need it, because we are your favorite new fashion host.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Favorite. So I think I want to leave you guys with something really quick before we close out. So I feel like we can do this and I don't have a quote prepared today, so I'm just gonna make up my own little quote. But for each episode, I feel like me and Terrell are gonna leave y'all with a quote, but I'm gonna make up a quote because this is what I do. You need to. Well, no, this is actually a quote. You need to dress for the life that you want, not the life that you have. I know the quote is dress for the job that you want and not for the job that you have. I'm telling y'all to dress for the life that you want and not for the life that you have.
So I'll just say really quickly, I guess I can say what mine would be learn to love the skin you're in. Yes. And then that's when you'll know what clothes to put over it.
I love that.
Learn to love the skin you're in, and then, only then, that's when you'll know what clothes to put over it.
Boom. Okay,
until next week, guys. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Real quick, make sure to follow us everywhere at the Fitting Room TV. That is our joint account on Instagram, and we're getting ready to do a Facebook page within next week. You can follow me personally at AK Brown STL.
And I am Terrell Keith right there.
Yes. And in our Instagram bio on the Fitting Room TV, you can submit styling questions.
Yes.
Or even just
very
questions
important. Yes.
Yes. So please make sure to submit your questions for a chance to be featured on our TV show. And if we do feature you, we'll make sure to shout you out with your Instagram handle. But until next week, please make sure to follow us, connect with us, and we cannot wait to come back and have you guys
so excited, guys.
the fitting room. So until next week, we will talk to you guys really, really soon.
Bye.
One more.